G'day there guys, it's your not English man Markee, and welcome back to another episode of r/relationship advice. Now if you guys love today's content, I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the stories. Posted by user ThrowRA titled, My long-term girlfriend cheated on me and got pregnant, but everyone around me keeps pressuring me to stay with her. So we grew up together in a small town, have known each other for our whole life, and eventually fell in love when she was 17 and moved to the city together 2 years ago. I work as a carpenter and she's still at university. 2 weeks ago, she suddenly dropped the news that she's 3 weeks pregnant. I know for sure it cannot be mine, because I always use protection and never have sex under alcohol or drug influence. I don't drink or smoke. So I pressured her, and she confessed that she slept with an exchange student during a school vacation trip. She said he has been hitting on her for weeks, but the sex was unplanned. That's why he didn't have a condom prepared and she didn't have pills ready, and it was only a one-time thing and she has no feelings for the guy anymore. I was totally in shock, but after a day, I decided that I can't stay in this relationship anymore. Firstly, I'm not ready to raise a child that's not my own. Secondly, I don't know if I'm able to forgive her for betraying me, at least not at the moment. So I break it off. I asked my boss if I could stay at the worker rooms, the rooms for temporary workers at the warehouse, and I let my girlfriend stay at our place till she finds a house. I pay full rent because only I work. So eventually, our families and our mutual friends got the news, and now they're all pressuring me to get back with my girlfriend. Except for my sister, who supports me. They say it's wrong to abandon her at a time like this, especially my dad, who I had a fight with every 2 days because of this. He said he knows she's a good girl. This is just a young person mistake, that I should stay with her and give the child up for adoption. And my friends keep messaging me, trying to convince me to take her back. One of them even accuses me because I'm the reason she moved to the city, so it's my responsibility. Now I am heartbroken, lonely, and shattered. It feels like the whole world doesn't give a single F about how I feel. I just want to move to a new city and start everything from zero, but I don't have the courage. Maybe some advice from you guys would ease the stress. Your friends are being ridiculous. Listen to me. It doesn't matter if it was a one-time thing. This girl has cheated on you and then was hoping you wouldn't realize that you couldn't have got her pregnant. She was going to pretend like you were the father. She cheated and lied and was going to let you raise a child that isn't yours without you knowing. She only told you because you pushed. Kick her out of your apartment and tell her to go live with her baby daddy. You owe her nothing. And no, she clearly isn't a nice person. Don't let her take the apartment. If you move out, you will have a much harder time getting the claim to move back in. If she needs somewhere to live, she can live with her family, her friends, the baby's father, contact an organization for assistance. She's grown and she has options. None of it is your responsibility. Your responsibility is to take good care of yourself, and that means keeping secure housing. You aren't responsible for her. She is. It's going to be hard for her. But that's just a part of life sometimes. And you aren't responsible for the baby either. She and the father are. This OP, in many countries getting rid of a squatter is pretty easy, but the state gets involved to keep the mothers off the streets. You've got a place to hole up for now, take full advantage of that. Tell her to move out ASAP because you aren't paying for anything anymore, full stop. Talk to your landlord and try to get your name off the lease. Offer to renew it or move into a different unit once she's evicted. Don't pay one more penny to support her. Hopping on this post to let you know that if she cheated once, she's 300% to 400% more likely to cheat again. Especially if she just brushed it off as a one-off fling. The fact that she isn't at your feet begging for forgiveness is a sign that she doesn't value trust in the relationship. Regardless if she's begging for forgiveness, you can't trust her anymore. You will only make this impossible for yourself. You are literally going to be wondering where she is and what she is doing 24/7, and it will not be good for your mental health. If she's capable of cheating on you once, she will do it again. People don't change, my friend. She obviously does not value you, and that will never change either. I gotta say that people do change if they truly want to, and if people believe and support them. People are able to feel bad for their mistakes and learn from them, unless they don't feel any remorse and don't care about others. However, in this case, I am sure it would be best for them to split since she wasn't truthful from the beginning. It would have been a completely different story if she didn't lie in the first place. Not your fault, not your concern. The day she was unfaithful, she left your relationship. That child already has a father. Let him take care of it now. Not your problem. It's his and hers. Exactly. Not his circus. Everyone around him wants to save face and act like nothing is wrong instead of supporting OP. Screw that. OP, run. A little update. I didn't think my story would get this much of a reaction. Thank you all you guys for caring and giving me advice. I tried to read all the comments that I could, and I thought that I could get through this alone. But you guys made me realize that I'm not alone, so I just called my little sister, and she'll be on the train to the city tomorrow morning to stay with me for the weekend. I also called my parents and her parents, and they agreed to come to us this weekend to discuss this matter. I don't know how it's gonna go, but I hope I can update my situation in the next few days. Updates. My long-term girlfriend cheated on me, got pregnant, but everyone around me keeps pressuring me to stay with her. Sorry for not updating sooner. The initial plan was for our parents to come to us, but they called in the last minute saying that they can't come because of their jobs. So we had to take the train back to our hometown last Tuesday. So because they didn't follow the plan, my sister and I had the whole weekend talking about my decision. Mostly, she asked questions and I answered to my true feeling, and in the end, it's unchanged how I feel. So I went to the meeting with everyone on Tuesday. I told my sister that she shouldn't come. That was the first time I met my ex-girlfriend since the incident. I blocked all my social media and told her not to contact me. I told my parents right from the start that I've made a decision and I'm just here to discuss how to handle things. First, a lot of you guys said I should take a paternity test. I proposed the idea, but after a few minutes of discussion, she said she doesn't want to do it. I'm still sure that I am not the father, so it's her choice, really. Second, about the real father. My ex-girlfriend said she contacted the guy herself, and he was as shocked and as panicked as we were. He will be back to his home in October, so he didn't have a clue how to handle everything either. And we agreed that we won't involve the guy anymore, as we wanted nothing to do with him. Third, about the child. She and her parents decided to go for abortion. They said because the pregnancy is only a few weeks old, she won't have to go to surgery and can do home abortion. They explained a lot, but I don't have much knowledge on this. I think that's the main reason they didn't want paternity test, because they don't want to wait. And I'm okay with that. That left us to the final one. I wanted to break up. I'd expected everyone to jump at me, but it surprised me that they didn't. My ex-girlfriend just sat there biting her lips with her head down. I think she already knew what I was going to say. In all of our years together, I have always been the one who made my opinion heard, and she is the silent type. Her parents were totally silent. My dad sat there with his arm crossed, and my mother tried to ask something once in a while. So it was just me monologuing the whole damn thing. So that's it. We broke up, but I still wanted to remain friends. I still care about her, and you can't just completely erase 20 years of your life. We went back to the city together, and it's just 1.5 hours of us talking about all the good memories since we were children. That's the first time I felt peace in weeks, to be honest. We spent the last few days packing up her stuff. She will stay in the city with me till next week for doctor's appointments, then go back to our hometown for a while. Thank you guys for making me feel that I am not alone in this. Many of you made supportive comments and inboxed me. I think I will have myself a fresh start. Maybe university is a good choice, as my sister is also going to university next year. Some of you guys asked where I'm from. I live in a Nordic country, but I'm only half native. My mother is Scandinavian, and my father is from East Asian. My ex-girlfriend is 100% native. I understand that a lot of people don't want to involve parents in every situation in their life, but I was raised to have family close to the heart, even when family can hurt us sometimes. But in the end, they are still family. I decided to involve her parents too, because they've also known me since when I was a child, and I wanted them to hear everything directly from me and not anyone else. There's nothing wrong with that. Family is nosy because they care about your well-being. They might not understand your condition 100%, but from what I read, they truly care about you. What is important is their intention. It just so happens that considering you two have known each other since childhood, your parents probably already consider her as a daughter. I'm sure that if she was just someone that you met during your university year, they would ask you to just break up. Having people that try to point out things that you might do wrong, but doing it because they care about you, is a lot better than having some stranger on the internet say the things that you want to hear, but will not be there in real time to support you. For instance, a guy that kept looking for advice or decisions from the internet, while thinking his family doesn't understand him, have his life fall apart due to failure. Guess who helped the guy to stand up again in mental and material support? The family or the strangers on the internet? That is why it's kind of annoying when people say that family has no right to be involved in your life once you are independent. Family help each other. Do not treat them like some kind of obstacle. OP, you handled this like a gentleman. I am very impressed. You've made a wise and logical decision, and I think everyone knew that they can't force you to do something that wasn't your fault to begin with. Cheating is an offense that you can't simply forgive and forget. Cheaters need to suffer the consequences of their actions. They need to know that their betrayal is not something trivial that can be dismissed as a simple mistake or a youthful dalliance. Cheating effectively destroys trust and emotional connection of the betrayed partner. She needed to learn that her betrayal will effectively render her unworthy and unsuitable to be your girlfriend. She cannot betray you and expect you to just forget her betrayal and let her continue to be your girlfriend. Actions have consequences, and her betrayal caused her to lose your love, your companionship, and your loyalty to her. She needs to learn that her bad behavior will never be rewarded, and infidelity will be dealt with decisively and sternly. She will definitely remember this lesson her whole life. Posted by user ThrowRA_Despad, titled, "My girlfriend used me for sex while I was out of it, and now she keeps taunting me about it." One night, about 3 months ago, I was drinking a lot, and I also took some anxiety medication, which was a huge mistake. I felt horrible, and I told my girlfriend I was going to lay down and sober up. I don't remember most of the night, but I woke up later on and my girlfriend was having sex with me. I told her to stop, but she ignored me. I was trying so hard to push her off somehow, but I just couldn't. It was such a frustrating and confusing moment, nothing fun about it at all. The next day I asked her about it. I asked if she heard me telling her to stop. She said, "Yeah, you were so cute. That was really funny." I was pretty angry because that was just wrong. I mean, in a technical sense, you could even say that it was the R word. Of course, I don't really view it like that because she was my girlfriend. I'm living with her. We've had sex hundreds of times before. It's not a big deal, but still. I pressed her, and she eventually said she was sorry. But she didn't seem to take it very seriously. I was kind of shaken up, but I eventually got over it. A few days later though, she brought it up herself and made a joke about it, and now she brings it up more and more. It's starting to make me feel really bad, to be honest. Yesterday I was arguing with her about something, but we were only half serious about it. She said, "Why can't you be the way you were that one night? You couldn't talk, you couldn't move, and you gave me 3 orgasms. That's how I like you." And that's just one example. She makes comments like this all the time, and I'm starting to feel seriously depressed. I don't even know why, but I am. She brings it up like she's joking, but I feel like she's trying to get under my skin, and I think she gets off on it, to be honest. She brings it up during sex a lot. I can't get myself to say anything because I just want to avoid the whole subject. I really wish she would stop talking about it so I can get over it myself. I know this is weird, but I had abusive parents, and the way I'm feeling now is starting to remind me of that time in my life. I feel guilty and very passive. Like, I just have to accept everything, even if I don't like it. Does anyone have any advice on how to deal with these feelings? Or what should I say to her to move past this? OP, she took advantage of you, and she fudging enjoyed doing it. Contact an attorney and ask them what steps you should take to protect yourself. Filing police reports, getting a restraining order, take those steps and get her out of your life. You feel similar to when your parents abused you because both are similar in that they violate your trust in an unforgivable way. If you stay, she will do it again. And OP replies, I will contact a therapist, I think. I'm not sure about legal action, it just seems wrong. I'm upset about it, don't get me wrong, but I feel like legal action is taking it too far. If she just felt remorse and said she was sorry, we could move on. OP, first I want to acknowledge your comment about not wanting to break up or press charges. And while I, of course, ultimately wish for your safety, and your safety will likely be threatened by remaining in the relationship, I want you to know that whatever happens next in terms of action is your choice and yours alone. No one here can take the next steps for you, nor should we try to pressure you into taking certain steps that you aren't ready or comfortable with. This isn't our experience, it is yours. You already had immense control taken away from you by being taken advantage by someone you trusted and loved. It isn't okay for anyone here to try to take further control away. To clarify, encouragement is different from pressure. Please don't feel guilty or ashamed for not wanting to take certain actions. Updates. My girlfriend used me for sex while I was out of it, and now she keeps taunting me about it. Hi everyone. I'll try to make this short. I'm breaking up with my girlfriend. She doesn't know it yet, but I've decided, thanks in part to all your advice, that it's the best thing to do. I apologize for not responding to many of the comments in the first thread, but as I said in one comment, I needed time to myself to think it over. My girlfriend and I had plans for the next day. Nothing important. I told her I didn't want to go because I was feeling depressed. Her response was angry and condescending. She was upset about our plans falling through. I tried to tell her that this wasn't normal depression, that I felt very bad. I didn't tell her why, but I explained the severity of it. She had no sympathy. She was so upset about the cancellation only, and she did nothing but berate me as I got in my car and left. I know it might seem strange, but it wasn't the rape or her taunts that made me realize she didn't care about me. It was that moment when she gave me zero support when I needed it. Well, it was that incident piled onto everything else, really, but I had hoped to try and work out our relationship merely hours before that moment. But of course, you were all right. I can't be in a relationship with someone like her, especially not after what she did to me. I came back home later that day and apologized to her. She eventually returned to her normal mood. Since then, I've saved many recordings of her taunting me about that night. I've also prepared for other aspects of the separation, and I'm pretty excited to get away from her. I've come to terms with the fact that I was, in fact, taken advantage of. I still don't like to think of it that way, but for the sake of this post, I'll admit it. The emotions I feel regarding this event are very confusing and sometimes contradictory. I really wish this never happened to me. It's been eating away at me, even during the last 3 months when I tried to ignore it. I wanted to let you know that I'm now doing much better psychologically. I'm being realistic, and I'm still planning to do some therapy as well, probably after I move out. I wanted to ask for people's opinion on whether or not I should go to the police. I have the recordings, but I'm mainly using them to protect myself, in case she tries to get revenge by accusing me of something that's false. If she'll just leave me alone, I don't necessarily feel like I have to go to the police. On the other hand, I feel some obligation to do it. Given this new information, what would you advise me to do? And don't worry about pressuring me. I just want your personal opinion. What would be some upsides and downsides of doing that to consider? Finally, thank you all so much for all of your help, support, and advice. I can't be grateful enough. Just by how you describe her, I can already say that she won't go quietly. This breakup is going to make her show everyone just how bad she really is. If possible, try to record everything, and make sure someone you trust knows when you are breaking up with her, just in case she tries to harm you or do something to get you into legal trouble. Be prepared to press charges. She can't be allowed to do this to the next guy. And good luck. I know a few others added caveats to this, such as bringing other people or someone else to the breakup, but I just wanted to respectfully add another caveat. He should strongly consider not breaking up with her in person at all, regardless of who is with him. It's just that a big chunk of my work focuses on homicide tracking, and there are far too many domestic violence homicides that occur when someone is attempting to leave. Many of these also include public homicides or homicides in which they brought others with them to the breakup, which sometimes also results in the homicides of loved ones as well. I absolutely agree that there is always the possibility she could harm him, and for that reason I really think he should consider not doing it in person. He should also refrain from an actual concrete breakup before he has all his ducks in a row, so to speak. If he offers any indication to her of his plans, or if he ends the relationship before he has any safe housing, financial backing, and emotional support in place, that could be very dangerous. Since he lives with her, it's a lot more complicated, but things he should consider doing to maintain his safety as much as possible ahead of time include: maintain a usual routine as much as possible without making any obvious changes that could alert her to his plans. Connect with a domestic violence advocate to craft a safety plan, such as this sexual abuse safety plan for intimate partner sexual abuse. Program important hotlines for emergency numbers into his phone under different contact names. Ensure your tech safety. Plan out ahead of time what to do if something goes wrong. Plan out who to contact and who you can trust. Put together a go bag with copies of important documents, medications, some money, and other essentials, and keep it in a safe location, such as a storage locker or a trusted friend's house. Document the abuse. He can consider using an app like DocuSafe, but only if she doesn't monitor his phone. And plan out ahead of time where he is going to go and who he's going to stay with, and choose, as much as he can, someone or somewhere that she has less access to. Alright, that's where I think I'm going to end today's episode, guys. As always, I really do hope you learned something or just really enjoyed the posts that were put up today. Quick shout out to all my new and existing Patreon and channel members. You should be able to see your name on screen right now, and if you don't, then I don't think you're part of the club, and you really should join the club because it's a great club. And I want to thank every single one of you guys for supporting me in this journey. It really means so much to me, and I love you all so much for it. Thank you for helping me out. As you can tell, I'm now happy and healthy back in Australia. Thank God it's not cold like Ireland. I don't like wearing jumpers everywhere. I prefer the heat. Thank you very much. I know that's an unpopular opinion. Anyway, guys, I really do hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day, night, sleep, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you later. Bye.